getting paid so well, and then you quit your job and going to unknown territories where you feel like this is what is meant for you. I think that was my lowest time ever. When I was a kid, I was a stammerer, a very strong stammerer. I couldn't talk properly, and talking was a huge issue. I was this boring kid. People used not want to listen to me because nikianza story, I could start stuttering all through. Nilikuwa nasema, I have to knock my feet down so that that word can come out. Nilikuwa nasema, anytime I used to go where kids were, najaribu kupiga story, they would all run off because I was that boring kid. And I decided one day to go to a crusade. Nikaenda crusade, and I trusted God that I could speak properly one day. And I cried to God. I remember I was in class 7, class 6, thereabout. I remember I cried in that crusade and asked God, please heal me. Let me speak properly. And the pastor asked, mwenye ni mgonjwa ashike pale ni mgonjwa na inue mkono hiyo mwingine. So I just hold my mouth and I was like, God, let me speak properly. So akauliza, nani amepona? And by faith I just raised my hand. I went there in front. I was given the microphone. And I was, and they were like, wewe ulikuwa mgonjwa wapi? And with the microphone, I'm like, oh God, it's back. And I thought God had healed me. The pastor now took that opportunity to pray. Akaniombea, he was like, Father, this young man will speak to masses. He will speak to masses. He will speak to thousands and thousands of people. And this weakness will one day become his strong point. I took word by word and I said amen in a lot of belief. When I was in high school, I used to organize events for people that they could advance their talent. Kuna wenye they were models, kuna wenye walikuwa, yani walikuwa wanakuja, wengine wanaimba, wengine wana rap, yani moja mbili tatu, yani that was a good time. Then as we moved on, I realized, I can do more. So when I cleared college, when I cleared high school and I went to college, my intention was to do mass communication and journalism. So when I was sitting at the reception, there was this line for the mass communication guys. It was a long one. And then on this other line, kulikuwa na watu wazee kama watano wa sita. They were doing community development and social work. So when I looked at these two lines, and I saw this huge line that was going down the stairs, down the hallway, uko kuote, and I was like, ile nini refu. I was like, no. So all along I wanted to be a journalist. And I asked myself, why should I be on this long line where there's so many people? Why should I not go to this line where there are old people? I'll be the youngest, and that means I'll have more attention, and I'll have to do, there is more that I can get from this line for community development and social work. And since it was in me, I just went and registered. I went to Nairobi Women's Hospital. After that, I worked for 1 year. Nairobi Women's Hospital, I really helped women and men who were sexually violated. And I remember so many times I was in Kibera, carrying women at my back. Kibera cars and ambulances don't get in. So you have to carry this lady, kids on your back and then take them to their houses. And I worked there, and then I realized, you know what? Yeah, I like helping, but at the same time, I don't want this. I want to go to recovery. So I said, let me now start looking for ways I could help people to avoid or I wanted to do more of awareness on sexual gender-based violence. So nikaenda nje and I started now talking to people about gender-based violence, which I trained over 10,000 people across the country. So from there, nikakaa, then I realized, then I now jumped into now lecturing. I became a lecturer. Yes. Mi hakuna kitu sijajaribu in Nairobi. Ha! I think it's just being a tout. Ni kukua tu donda, and I think donda I can do it anytime. So I decided, let me now start now doing, of course, teaching. I went into teaching and I became a lecturer for different colleges, and I really loved teaching. Actually, when I started teaching, my course became the most popular course in college, in that institution. So I taught, and I was very contented up to when God told me, hey, you know what? Move from teaching, get into another field. So from teaching, I joined the corporate world. And then I worked for Classic 105 and Parapet Cleaning Company. When I got employed at Parapet, for the first 3 months, I think it was a walk in the park. It was all luxury. And then now it started now clicking, it's after the third month, going to the fourth and the fifth. And it just escalated. I think the feeling of, hey, we, haufanyi kazi. You're not doing much. You're not doing justice to yourself. You're not doing justice to the company. I think by the 6th month, I was like, me, I'm done. I am done. And then, when I thought I was done, I get another call. Hey, there's an opening at Radio Africa, and they're looking for creatives and salespeople. And I was like, yeah, sure. I have always wanted to work in, as I said before, I wanted to be a journalist. So I was like, okay, fine. Now, this is an opportunity that is presenting itself. Now I'm going to work for a media house. And then I also now, from, they say, jumping from the pan to the fire. That's what happened, because I jumped from there, and I thought that I think this is it. This is what I wanted. So I jumped again to the media house. So I worked for this media house for some time, and then, but now I became restless. It became like, it was just like, woo. Ninaamka tu asubuhi and I feel like, sitaki kwenda kazi mimi. I don't feel like I want to go to work. Mimi sitaki kwenda kazi. I don't want, sitaki. Every single day, I walked into Lion's Place. It was a blue gate. I still remember. I could stop there for 1 or 2 minutes and ask myself, do I want to get into this gate? Every single morning. So one day, I just went to my social media, and I decided I'm not going to go. I'm not going to work. Siendi kazi, and I'm just sleeping the whole day. And I just wrote on my social media, you know what, guys? Mimi nime quit my job at Radio Africa. Even my mom called me. She asked me, are you serious? Wewe unaacha kazi? That's one of the most lucrative jobs in Nairobi. Na unaacha, unataka kuwa nini? And I remember me telling them nataka kuwa MC. It was not a walk in the park. Getting paid so well, and then you quit your job and going to unknown territories where you feel like this is what is meant for you. I think that was my lowest time ever, because my house got locked. And then my landlord, since she loved me so much, she was like, wewe nataka kuchota kila kitu, and I don't want to hire people. Well, take your own things from your house, wewe jipelekea kwa lori. The only thing she gave me was a mattress, the beddings, and I think the gas and two sufurias, and that was it. Oh, and my clothes. The rest, I can just put them on the truck. We need just to take them for storage until when you get money. So I remember I called my parents, and they sent me 9K, and that's where I started again. I started like from zero again, square one. You get? So for me, I think it was a period of soul searching. And I remember me talking to my parents and they were like, are you for real? Unataka kutoka kazi kweli? Na hii emceeing hata it's not even anywhere in the picture. Okay, fine. I'd already tried doing a few functions here and there. And I think that's why I felt like I really wanted to do more of that. So, nimetoka kwa nyumba ya a 2-bedroomed house, an apartment. It's very beautiful. In a very nice area. I have gone to a single room, choo ziko nje, surrounded with very luxurious buildings where my friends stay. Asubuhi natoka na karai, and I line up nje ya bafu, ready to get in. And my friends could actually just sit at their balcony and ask themselves, you see how people confuse themselves in life? Hii ni bangi. This guy is on top of things. This is not just real. This guy he's lost it. Yes. So I remember, Kevin, it was not easy, but the grace of God was sufficient. That's what I am usually grateful for. God came in a very powerful way that he let me. He gave me the grace, because I remember the prayer. Actually, I've just remembered right now the prayer I used to make that time. God gave me the grace to go through this and the strength to stand by this decision. Because even as I quit, they kept on telling me, you can always come back. You can always come back. So you wake up in the morning and you're like, can I go back? And I'm like, no, let me continue sleeping. You know, until one day, God came in a very big way. I think after 2 or 3 months being in the house, I don't have money. I've been surviving on porridge like for a whole 2 months on porridge. Nakunywa tu uji asubuhi na jioni na lunch, and I was very grateful. I think that was the most peaceful time I've ever had in my entire life. Even right now, as I'm into my career, I would say that was a very peaceful time. In 2018, I did that year. Imagine, that is the year that I'm coming out from all this, and now I've decided to be an MC. I did 80 good weddings in 1 month. My first wedding, the first time I hosted a wedding, I remember very well. I'd never hosted a wedding before, so a friend of mine was like, you can go and host this wedding. I was like, no. I'd not even gone for a wedding before. I was the type. So a friend approaches me and tells me, hey, you, Ken, tebu enda ufanye harusi. And I'm like, mimi. First of all, I'm a stammerer. Second, I don't go for weddings. Thirdly, how am I supposed even to run that program? And he's like, yeah, unakuanga na mdomo, wewe enda. And I'm like, whew, okay. So I start emceeing, and then this musician comes and he's like, niaje, nataka kukuibia wimbo moja. And I'm like, okay, fine. Chukua microphone iba. This guy starts singing, and he never returns the microphone. He became the MC, and I sat down and I was like, oh, so this is what I was supposed to do. Hey, that was the first experience. And then now from the second one, I learned from him so much because I'm very inquisitive. I sat down, I looked at him, and I saw how it's done, and I was like, okay, fine, this is not difficult. I can do this. So, but as I've told you, I've always walked by faith. Everything I've done is by faith. I mean, even the Muslim, even for the pagan weddings I've done, it's by faith. So I'm like, okay, fine. Second one, I get called by another friend. Hey, there is so now where I tell God, give me favor. Let my spirit, once it goes to these people, let my spirit gel with other spirit and suppress all the spirits that are around in that place. And funny thing, God does it. And people are like, you're different. And I get my 3 jobs from that wedding. I go for this, the other guys are like, you're very different. And I get jobs from there. So from those weddings, I take photos, I post on my social media, and other people see, and they give me jobs. My experiences of dealing with different kind of people, as I've said, I tell couples to pray. And if you pray, we are going to see results. And if you don't, we're also going to see results. The people who have prayed, they've always come with results. And the people who don't pray, can I shock you? I wake up in the morning and I can tell you, this wedding was prayed for. I can even decide not to pray that day and put on my shoes and go for that wedding. And there is another one. I would wake up and tell God, God, this wedding was not prayed for. It has a lot, I can feel this wedding was not prayed for. And I sit down, I start praying for it. Let me give you an incident. There is one day I just woke up and my spirit just felt like, ilikuwa harusi ya mgale. And I felt this wedding was not prayed for. Kabisa, kabisa. Was like this wedding has not been prayed for completely. So I remember I spent 2 hours praying for that wedding. 2 hours zikakwisha. I got late for the wedding. Luckily I got when just the bride had arrived, which was not my nature. So I went there, and we finished the wedding properly, and we sit down. And when we are there, the bride calls all service providers in her gown. Tumaliza wedding, ako tu hapo akaambia bwanake and her relatives, "Nyu ngojeni hapo, let me talk to my service providers." She's like, "Headboy, please come and hug me. You have done an excellent job. Ndakuongezea pesa." Hugs and kisses. And she's like, "Head to my husband, tell him to give you your money. All the rest of you, let's meet in court. Yes, all of you, we meet in court. I'm not paying anyone, not a dime." The service providers are like, "What's happening? Why? We had agreed what you did not bring. Your food was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, it was horrible. You, keki, you didn't put what flavor. I didn't taste what." Yani, everything else was a mess except Headboy. When I received that money, I just looked to the skies and I said, "Thank you, God." Mungu asante. Thank you. Thank you for the lateness. Ay, Mungu utakunywa soda gani, wajameni. You know, I was super grateful. And I think when we learn how to interact with God, everything becomes so easy. Me, I go to a Somali wedding and ask myself, "God, what do I do?" I go to a pure Muslim wedding and ask God, "What can I do?" There is one wedding I really prayed for like a month. And let me tell you, I did that wedding. We got 2 million, me and my people, as a gift. They were like, "You have done it so well. I have never seen. Come for 2 million in my office." After some time of doing events and weddings, I realized that people are doing quite exemplary jobs. I decided, let me create an award where now you people, you bride and groom, you are going to talk about these service providers to your friends and tell them how your service provider was good by voting for them. So I created a platform where service providers could go back to the previous brides and grooms and ask them to ask the people who came for their wedding to vote for this 1, 2, 3 who did exemplary work at their wedding or event. I didn't have money, by the way, I'll tell you. Actually, I didn't have money, and there's a gentleman called Kings. It's called Kings. He came through. He did for me the first advert. Alinifanyia advert ya kwanza, free of charge. I think there was another gentleman called I've forgotten his name. He did for me the voice recording. "Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Kenya Wedding Awards 2018. I did that in someone's bedroom. Yes, so, and then we just created an award, and I found one great partner called Diana. She bought the dream, and we went out and we came out with Kenya Wedding Awards, which is now the most luxurious awards in Kenya. And then from there, also God brought about the Skill Up Mentorship Program. The Skill Up Mentorship Program is where I bring people in a particular market space and I bring them together. I bring the ones who want to get into this space and the ones who are doing well with some best practices. I bring them together, they exchange ideas. We did our first and we had over 150 people, MCs, who came together and they learned a lot. Who would have known that one day I would teach people how to speak properly? Myself, right now, I teach people who know how to speak properly, how to speak. Nowadays, people ask me how I do it and I tell them it's all by the grace of God. God has given you a responsibility and He wants to see it complete. Then trust in Him. Ask God to provide every single need so that you can do His job. You're not doing your job, you're doing God's job. So He should be able to provide for you and your needs. And that's my prayer right now, I'll be honest with you. I don't know how it is. I don't know how the future looks for me. And I think that's the beauty of it all. I'm getting into a space that I've not been there before. And I feel there's an urge because I can feel it in my spirit. In my prayer, I feel God telling me, I feel like me, I keep on telling God, God, I want to create an impact. I want to bring change. I want to be an icon of hope and inspiration. When people see me, they know you're around. That's where I'm headed. And quite honestly, I don't know how I'm going to do it. I honestly don't. I'd be lying to you if I told you I have an idea. But you see, God has given us the gift of discernment. So it shall come by. It's a matter of time. My name is MC Headboy, and I have found my purpose. My purpose is to give hope and inspiration